Weingarten Rights. What are they, and are they important to me? They definitely are important, and in the next 10 minutes, we're going to show you why. So what are they? In a nutshell, Weingarten Rights guarantee you help from a union representative if you have a reasonable belief that a meeting with your manager might lead to 1, a discipline or sanction, as it's often referred to here at PSU, 2, a change in your working conditions, 3, being fired from your job. How did we get to Weingarten Rights? Well, believe it or not, it all started with a box of chicken. In 1972, Laura Collins was accused of stealing. The loss prevention specialist hired by the Weingarten Company believed Collins had taken a large box of chicken, but paid only for a small box. Collins insisted she had only taken the small amount of chicken, but had to put it in a large box because the store was out of small boxes. Believe it or not, this investigation went on for quite a while. Over and over again, Collins asked management to allow her to get help from her union rep. Over and over again, she was told no. Eventually, the loss prevention specialist decided her story was true and Collins was cleared. But when it was all over, he asked her not to tell anyone about what had happened. Naturally, she went straight to her union rep and told him the whole story. Collins' union, the Retail Clerks 455, filed an unfair labor practice charge against the Weingarten Company for refusing her request to get help from her union rep. Eventually, the case ended up in the U.S. Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court decided that an employee is entitled to union representation during any investigatory interview. An investigatory interview simply means any meeting or conversation where a manager is investigating something that might lead to an employee being disciplined, terminated from their job, or having a change in working conditions. This is the law, and the basic elements of that law are also incorporated into our collective bargaining agreement under Article 27, Section 2, page 68 through 69, for the 2021-2024 collective bargaining agreement. Since the Supreme Court said Weingarten Rights apply to investigatory meetings, that means you can't invoke your right to seek help from a union rep for just any old meeting. Meetings where you're being given instructions or work assignments, routine conversations about your work, and training meetings don't qualify for Weingarten Rights. Neither do performance review meetings with your manager unless you have a reasonable belief that the performance review meeting is actually going to be a conversation about discipline, losing your job, or a change in your working conditions. So, whose job is it to make sure your Weingarten rights are protected? It's you. It's you. Your manager is not required under the law to tell you that you have a right to a union rep during an investigatory meeting. Some managers will tell you this, but they're not required to and may, in fact, be unfamiliar with Weingarten rights. Because of this, we should be ready to invoke our rights. If your manager asks you to come for a meeting and you have a reasonable belief that the meeting might lead to discipline, loss of your job, or change in working conditions, you should invoke your Weingarten rights by saying, if this discussion could in any way lead to my being disciplined, terminated, or cause an effect on my personal working conditions, I respectfully request that my union rep be present at this time. Until my representation arrives, I choose not to participate in this discussion. Now, don't worry. You don't have to memorize this official language word for word. You can use your own words so long as you get these ideas across. It seems that the discussion might lead to discipline, termination, or a change in my working conditions. I need help from my union rep. Until they can be here, I don't want to answer any questions or discuss this further. How will I know? Remember that you only need to have a reasonable belief that the meeting might lead to discipline, loss of your job, or a change in your working conditions. You don't have to be a mind reader. Let's say you ask these Weingarten questions before the meeting starts and the manager assures you there is no problem. You don't need to worry. You're not in any trouble. They just need a chat. But as the meeting goes along, it seems to you that yes, you could be in trouble. At that point, you can invoke your Weingarten rights even though the meeting has already started. Just say you don't want to go any further without your union rep. You don't need to have a proof that something bad will happen. You only need to have a reasonable belief that it could happen. Reasonable simply means that something has happened or the manager has said something or written something that makes you think it's possible. What if I am just not sure? In the end, there still might be times when you're simply unsure. You can't put your finger on anything that has happened or that's been said that really gives you a reasonable belief, but you've got an uneasy feeling. What can you do? Just ask. You can say something like, Supervisor, you seem very upset about this. Are you considering this to be an oral reprimand? Or, this seems serious. Are you considering putting a sanction or discipline in my file? If your supervisor says, no, this is just a conversation, it's just a chat, the meeting can continue, but you should document what happened immediately after it's over. This can be as simple as writing up notes on what happened in as much detail as possible and tucking it away. Or you could talk to a union rep about what happened. Or you could email the PSU-AAUP office and ask to speak with someone about what happened so that it's in the union records. By doing one or more of these things, you'll have good documentation on what happened should the matter escalate in the future. At this point, you might be wondering, what will your union rep do to help you in the meeting? The most important thing a union rep can do is to help you prepare, simply because human memory is not a digital recorder. Often our memories are incomplete or jumbled until we sit down and think about them. A union rep will help you think back what happened and give your perspective in a clear way, preferably in a chronological order. They can also help you think through what questions you might be asked in the meeting. Again, the goal is not for you to construct answers, but to gather your thoughts and tell the truth in a coherent manner. During the meeting, they're primarily there to watch, that is, to act as a witness. They will also take notes and keep an eye out for possible violations of your rights in the process, as defined in the collective bargaining agreement and university policy. On occasion, a union rep will ask questions in order to clarify something that seems confusing or unclear to them. What you will not see is any courtroom TV behavior. So, what happens if your supervisor assures you, oh, don't worry, this isn't about you, you're just a witness? It doesn't matter. If the manager is conducting an investigation, you have the right to have your union rep's help, whether you're a witness or the person being investigated. It's definitely a good idea to have your unit rep's help, even if you're just a witness, because you never know where these things will go. Once you've invoked your Weingarten rights, what happens if a union rep isn't available? It might seem logical that you could just refuse to attend the meeting, or if it's already started, get up and go. But that's a risky move. You don't want to do anything that a supervisor could say was insubordination. Once you've told your manager that you don't want to answer any questions until you have help from your union rep, your supervisor has 3 options. 1. Stop the meeting and wait for a union rep to arrive and consult with the employee. 2. Reschedule the meeting for a time when a union rep is available. 3. Stop the meeting and abandon the interview. Technically, the manager can also ask you if you're willing to waive your Weingarten rights and continue without a union rep. But that's silly since you just said you do want help from your union rep. If the manager doesn't seem familiar with how Weingarten rights work, you could suggest, can we reschedule this meeting for tomorrow or the next day when my union rep can be here? One thing to keep in mind, while generally you get to choose which union rep you want to help you, the wait for that person can be unreasonable. For example, if the person you prefer is on vacation for 2 weeks in Acapulco, the supervisor is most likely within their rights to say that's too long, and you need to pick someone else. If the investigation is genuinely urgent, the manager can insist on a short timeline. Let's recap. 1. You have the right to seek help from a union rep during an investigatory meeting, whether you're a witness or the person being investigated. 2. Your union rep will assist you, especially in preparing for the meeting. During the meeting, they'll serve as a witness, take notes, and safeguard your rights under the process. There won't be any Perry Mason or law and order moments. 3. You have to invoke your Weingarten rights. Under the law, your supervisor doesn't have to ask you if you like to have a union rep present. 4. You can use your own words to invoke your rights. You don't have to perfectly memorize the official words. 5. You only have to have a reasonable belief that the meeting might lead to discipline, loss of your job, or a change in working conditions. That belief can be based on something that has happened and or something the supervisor has said or done. 6. Don't just get up and leave the meeting after you've invoked your rights. That could be risky. And 7, Weingarten rights are for investigatory meetings, not just any old meeting. And that's it. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. I wish you salud, paz y poder. I wish you health, peace, and power.